Now that the movies are coming out that I have not seen in theaters yet, are now being released on digital, I now have the chance to see one of the movies, and I do mean one, that I have been waiting to see since the poster came out. You pretty much know what it is by this point, so here we go. Captain Underpants! The first epic movie. So Captain Underpants is the 2017 animated movie based upon the children's books by Dave Pilkey, who inspired the character off of his teacher saying underwear is not funny, as the class literally laughed, and that built his inspiration to create Captain Underpants. Who'd have thought, right? The movie is about two troublemakers named George and Harold who pull the biggest pranks at their elementary school, and their principal, Mr. Krupp, has been after them for so long to try to get evidence that'll wind up having them put into separate classes, away from each other. Evidence does come one day, but luckily George and Harold come in with their 3D hypno ring and hypnotize their principal into the hero of their comic books, Captain Underpants. There are more plot points in the story, including Professor Poopy Pants and the role that, at least partially, you'll see the talking toilets or whatever come in. But that does not happen until the second book. It's mainly focusing partially on the first book, bringing in the Professor Poopy Pants from the fourth book, and bringing the gigantic talking toilet from... well, not talking toilet, technically. It is one of Melvin's inventions that winds up being sort of the key in the second book for the talking toilet. The animation definitely shows that it's true to the style of Captain Underpants. I mean, it's a simplistic children's book. And the style they go for in the book, oddly enough, really translates very well into the animation. The animation is kind of that Peanuts movie-like style. I mean, you ever seen the Peanuts movie? Probably some of you have. And the animation style definitely reminds you of that. But then there's also the fact that they actually use 2D animation in some certain situations, like the comic book storytelling plots. And I do like that. I like the style that they go for each of these, and definitely it's true to the original form. Other than that, the animation's pretty good. The cast in it, I will say the very least, is very good cast choice, to say the least. I mean, Kevin Hart, Ed Helms, Thomas Middleditch, Nick Kroll, Jordan Peele, Kristen Schaal. I think the one that steals the show the most is definitely Thomas Middleditch, Ed Helms, and Kevin Hart. They play their characters so amazingly. I've never seen the voice be like this. I mean, props to Ed Helms, who literally does his all to be the mean principal Mr. Krupp, but also be the delightful, lighthearted hero Captain Underpants based upon their books, or at least their comics that both George and Harold wind up making. The one thing I've also pointed out is that they take elements of the first book, but they also partially take some from the fourth as well as the second book. Or at least it's just one and fourth. I mean, what can you do telling the first story into one movie? It's an impossibility. I mean, it's just simply George and Harold wind up hypnotizing their principal, and they just go on wacky shenanigans. Not much for movies, so I could see expanding one book and making, like, maybe one or two of them into a feature film. It works to its extent, and I do like it. It definitely leaves on a cliffhanger, which I won't dare give away here, but if they're definitely setting themselves up for a sequel, DreamWorks and Universal, because, you know, by 2019, when Universal will now have the rights to DreamWorks and distribute their animated movies through them, with How to Train Your Dragon 3, look forward to that one, they better uphold their promise and actually make a second Captain Underpants movie. DreamWorks definitely put all effort into this movie. They did not, like, half-ass it or anything. They didn't pull any stops or any certain scenarios. George and Harold's fourth wall breaking and their animation style and the way the characters interact with each other and the fact that they actually make references to the book, like the Flipperama, is definitely one big major factor that they definitely did pay attention to the source material and led themselves into a good movie. That I'm impressed by. One thing I have to say is that it's kind of weird adding little subplots, especially when you've got a book about a principal who is hypnotized and is changed into just his, like, curtain cape and just in his boxers. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but if it fills up the time for an hour and 40 minutes, or nearly an hour and 30 minutes, then it's worth it. With that in mind, Captain Underpants, in simplicity, is quite integral to its storyline, and for many parents, though despite this having controversial situations, and definitely there have been some school bannings of this said book. And I will have to say that Captain Underpants, despite it being controversial in its style, is awesome-tacular. Alright guys, so Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Or what is your favorite book out of the Captain Underpants series? That is, if you read them. Whatever your thoughts are, comment below and let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, just click on the channel name or wait for the end slate if you want to see more. And as always, I'm the Fro Guy, and I'll see you guys for the next movie.